Far away in the stars, there was a group of aliens called the Galactic Council. The Council had many kinds of aliens from different planets. They all thought they were better than everyone else. One day, the aliens in the Council started talking about the humans on Earth. Humans were still very new in space. They had only just learned how to travel to other stars. The aliens laughed at the idea of humans being in space. They thought humans were too young and silly to be there with them. Humans are like babies compared to us, said Quan, one of the Council aliens. They act like they own space already, but they know nothing. Many of the other aliens nodded. They agreed that humans needed to learn their place. Quan had an idea. I say we teach the humans a lesson. Let's show them how weak they are. Some aliens thought that sounded too mean. But in the end, most of them agreed with Quan. They wanted to prove that they were the strongest in the galaxy. So the aliens started to plan a big space attack. They called it the Earth Invasion Force. They got all their best spaceships and weapons ready. The humans will give up right away, Quan said with a smile. They will see our power and beg us to stop. The Council felt proud and sure of their win. They thought Earth would be an easy prize to take. While the aliens got ready for war, the humans on Earth had no idea. They were still learning and exploring in space. They did not know that the big Galactic Council wanted to attack them. The Council's huge alien space fleet flew closer and closer to Earth. The day when humans would meet aliens for the first time was almost here. But it would not be the nice meeting that humans dreamed of. It would be the start of a war. On Earth, people were living their normal lives. They had no idea that aliens were coming to attack them. But that all changed when the government made a big announcement on TV. Citizens of Earth, we have important news, the president said, looking very serious. A fleet of alien spaceships is flying toward our planet. We believe they want to invade us. People everywhere were shocked and scared. They had always wondered if aliens were real. Now they knew aliens were real, but they were coming to start a war. The news showed pictures of the alien ships. They were huge and looked very powerful. Earth's armies quickly started to get ready to fight, but everyone knew that the aliens had much better weapons. Many people thought Earth had no chance to win. Leaders from different countries talked about what to do. They argued and could not agree on a plan. That's when Captain Lee Jisoo got a call from her boss in the military. Jisoo was one of Earth's best spaceship pilots. Her boss had an important mission for her. Jisoo, we need you to take a ship and meet the alien fleet in space, her boss said. You have to try to talk to them and stop the invasion. Jisoo knew this would be very dangerous. The aliens might attack her ship on sight, but she also knew she had to try. She was Earth's best hope to avoid a big war. After saying goodbye to her family, Jisoo got in her fastest ship and blasted off into space. She flew toward the spot where the alien fleet would reach Earth. As she got close, Jisoo saw the huge alien ships all around her. Her heart was racing, but she tried to stay calm. She turned on her radio and called the aliens. Greetings, I am Captain Lee Jisoo from Earth, she said. I come in peace. I wish to speak to your leaders. At first, there was only silence. Jisoo wondered if the aliens could understand her. Then a voice came through the radio. It sounded strange and robotic. Earthship, you are very brave to come here alone, the alien said, but also very foolish. We are the Galactic Council, and we have come to conquer your planet. Jisoo took a deep breath. She knew this would not be easy. The aliens did not want peace, but she had to keep trying. Please, there is no need for war, Jisoo said. We humans do not want to fight you. Surely we can find a way to talk and understand each other. The alien voice just laughed. Jisoo could tell that it would take more than words to change their minds. She needed to find a way to show the aliens that attacking Earth would be a big mistake. Jisoo thought hard about what she could do. Then an idea came to her. It was a wild and risky plan. She didn't know if it would work, but it was the only hope. She had to stop the invasion before it began. Jisoo flew her small ship closer to the huge alien fleet. She knew she had to meet the aliens face to face. It was the only way to make them listen. She sent a message to the biggest alien ship. "I am coming to meet you in person," she said. "I have something very important to show you." The aliens sent a small shuttle to get her. Jisoo's heart was beating fast as she stepped onto the alien ship. She was the first human to ever be on an alien spaceship. Alien guards took Jisoo to the ship's control room. There she met the leader of the Galactic Council fleet. His name was Park, and he towered over her. He had gray skin and looked at Jisoo with cold eyes. "Why are you here, human?" Park asked in a deep voice. "Have you come to surrender your planet?" Jisoo stood tall and looked right at Park. "No, I have not," she said firmly. "I have come to ask you to stop this invasion. We humans do not want to fight you." Park laughed loudly. The other aliens in the room laughed too. "You humans are so weak and foolish," Park said. "You cannot stop us. We will take your planet easily." Jisoo knew words alone would not change Park's mind. She remembered her secret plan. "Leader Park, I want to show you something," she said, taking out a small device. "This has information I think you need to see before you attack Earth." Park looked at the device curiously. "What is it?" he asked. "It is a history of all the wars humans have fought," Jisoo said. She pushed a button, and a big screen in the room came to life. Images and videos of wars from Earth's past started to play. The aliens saw humans fighting each other with swords and bows, then guns and cannons, then tanks and planes and bombs. They saw the terrible destruction of cities and lands. They heard the cries of pain from wounded soldiers. They saw the mushroom clouds of atomic bombs. The videos showed war after war after war, humans fighting humans for hundreds and thousands of years. So much death and suffering, but humans kept fighting. Park and the other aliens watched in silence. They had never seen anything like this. They knew humans were a young species, but they didn't know humans were so good at war. "You see," Jisoo said, "we humans have been fighting each other for all our history. War is in our blood. We are very good at it, even though we hate it." She looked at Park seriously. "If you invade Earth, we will fight you with everything we have. We will never stop fighting, even if it destroys our planet. This is our way." Park's face had gone very still. He was starting to understand what Jisoo was telling him. Attacking Earth would not be an easy win like he thought. He saw in the history how humans could be hurt and knocked down, but they always got back up to fight more. Humans were stubborn and tough, and never gave up. Even in the face of a stronger enemy, humans would fight to the end. Jisoo turned off the device. The room was very quiet. She had given the aliens a lot to think about. She hoped it would be enough to stop the invasion before it started. Park cleared his throat. "I must discuss this with the council," he said in a low voice. "You have shown us a side of humans we did not know. Perhaps we need to rethink our plans." Jisoo felt a spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, her crazy idea had worked. Maybe she had saved Earth by showing the aliens that humans were not as weak as they thought. The history of war that humans were so ashamed of might just be the thing that saved them from a worse war to come. As the alien fleet continued its approach towards Earth, Jisoo remained on the lead alien ship, determined to prevent the impending invasion. She had captured the attention of the Galactic Council with her presentation on humanity's long and brutal history of warfare, but she knew more was needed to truly dissuade them from their path of conquest. Under the watchful eyes of the alien guards, Jisoo began transmitting additional data from Earth's historical archives to the Council's computer systems. Holographic displays lit up the control room, surrounding the aliens with vivid imagery of humanity's darkest moments. Jisoo highlighted the global conflicts that had consumed Earth in the past, the two devastating world wars that had spread across continents, the horrific atrocities committed during the Holocaust and other genocides, and the terror of nuclear weapons that had instantly vaporized entire cities. The aliens witnessed scenes of trenches filled with bodies, cities reduced to rubble, and landscapes scarred by artillery shells. As the council members absorbed this grim record, Jisoo explained the savagery and destruction that had defined warfare on Earth for millennia. "We have killed our own kind by the millions," she said solemnly. "We have created weapons that can end all life on our planet in mere minutes. War is in our nature. It is a demon we have struggled to overcome throughout our history." The mood in the room had shifted. Some of the council members who had been so eager for war now looked uncertain, even alarmed. They began to see humans in a new light, not as a primitive species to be easily conquered, but as battle-hardened survivors of countless conflicts. Jisoo pressed on, determined to drive her point home. She spoke of how the scars of war had shaped human culture and psychology. Every generation on Earth has been touched by war in some way. It has brought us immense pain, but it has also made us resilient. No matter how much we suffer, we always find a way to keep going, to rebuild, and come back stronger. To illustrate her point, Jisoo showed examples of cities that had been reduced to ashes in war, only to be reborn and thrive once more. She highlighted the incredible human capacity for adaptation and innovation, often spurred by the pressures of conflict. That same spirit that has allowed us to endure and overcome war on Earth, she said, is what we will bring to a war with you. We do not want this fight, but if you force it upon us, we will unleash all the strength and fury our history has given us. As Jisoo spoke, she could see doubt, and even a hint of fear growing in the eyes of the council members, even the hawkish leader Park. They were beginning to understand that a war with Earth would not be the quick and easy victory they had imagined. They were starting to reckon with the possibility that the invasion could embroil them in a long, bloody conflict unlike any they had faced before. Jisoo concluded her presentation with a final warning. "Think carefully about the path you are about to choose," she said to the council. "You may have vastly superior technology and weapons, but we humans have something that cannot be quantified or fully understood from the outside. A spirit forged by millennia of war and hardship. If you invade our world, you will face the full force of that spirit. You may defeat us in the end, but it will cost you dearly. Is that a price you are truly willing to pay?" Her words hung in the air as Jisoo fell silent, letting the weight of Earth's history make her case for peace. She had revealed humanity in all its complicated, contradictory reality. A young species that had already endured lifetimes of war, a civilization as capable of great violence as it was of great resilience and progress. She could only hope that this fuller understanding would be enough to change the path of fate that now hung in the balance between the stars. As the alien fleet drew closer to Earth, Jisoo continued her passionate presentation to the Galactic Council. She was determined to use humanity's troubled history as a powerful lesson in the true costs of war. Building upon the grim foundation she had laid with her earlier examples, Jisoo delved deeper into the long-term consequences of Earth's many conflicts. She described how once mighty empires had crumbled under the weight of endless warfare, their power and influence fading into the pages of history. The Roman Empire, the Mongol Empire, the British Empire, Jisoo listed, her voice ringing clear in the alien control room. All of them, at one time, thought themselves invincible, destined to rule the world forever. But war and conquest drained their strength, sowed the seeds of rebellion, and ultimately led to their downfall. The council members listened intently, some of them shifting uncomfortably in their seats. The idea of their own grand galactic council one day fading into obscurity like these human empires was deeply unsettling. Jisoo then spoke of the many times in Earth's history when occupied peoples had risen up against their conquerors. From the American Revolution to the guerrilla fighters of Vietnam, she said, humans have proven time and again that we will resist subjugation with every fiber of our being. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, we will fight for our freedom and our way of life. She explained the tactics of asymmetric warfare, of how a smaller, weaker force could bleed and frustrate a larger, more powerful enemy through unconventional means. If you invade Earth, Jisoo warned, you will face this kind of resistance on a planetary scale. Every city, every town, every village will become a battleground. You will never know peace or security, only a constant, grinding guerrilla war with no end in sight. The specter of a long, drawn-out occupation, one that could sap the Council's resources and morale for generations, loomed large in the minds of the alien leaders. Finally, Jisoo spoke of the concept of mutually assured destruction, which had defined the nuclear age on Earth. In the 20th century, she explained, humanity developed weapons so powerful that they could end all life on our planet. The knowledge that using these weapons would bring about our own annihilation is all that has prevented a global catastrophe. She fixed the Council with a steely gaze. We have lived with this reality for decades. We understand, in our very bones, the horrific consequences of total war in a way that you cannot imagine. If you push us to the brink, if you threaten our very existence, we will not hesitate to use every weapon at our disposal, no matter the cost to ourselves. That is the depth of our resolve. The gravity of this statement hung heavy in the air. The Council members looked at each other in silent communication, the implications of Jisoo's words sinking in. They had come to conquer Earth, but now they were confronted with the possibility of their own destruction, of a war so catastrophic that it could shake the very foundations of the galactic order. As the great alien fleet hung in the blackness of space, poised on the brink of a fateful decision, Jisoo drove her point home. This is the lesson our history has taught us, she said, her voice filled with both sorrow and strength. War is a hungry beast that consumes all in its path. It breaks the victors just as surely as the vanquished. If you invade our world, you may defeat us, but you will never conquer us. You will only sow the seeds of your own destruction. In that moment, Jisoo stood as an avatar of all of Earth's hard-won wisdom, a living testament to the endurance and indomitable spirit of humanity. She had taken the darkest chapters of her species' past and wielded them as a beacon, a warning light illuminating the perils that lay ahead. Now it was up to the Galactic Council to decide which path they would choose: the path of war and ruin, or the path of peace and understanding. Despite Jisoo's impassioned presentation on the horrors and futility of war, the leader of the Galactic Council, Park, remained unmoved. He saw Jisoo's warnings as a sign of human weakness, a desperate attempt to avoid the inevitable conquest of their primitive world. In the alien control room, Park rose from his seat and addressed the Council. He spoke of the Council's manifest destiny, of their inherent superiority over the lesser species of the galaxy. He argued that it was their right, even their duty, to bring the light of their civilization to the backward humans, by force if necessary. Many of the Council members nodded in agreement, caught up in Park's charismatic rhetoric. They saw the invasion of Earth as a glorious mission, a chance to extend their dominion and prove their strength. Jisoo listened to Park's speech with growing dismay. She realized that her words, powerful as they were, had not reached the heart of the Council's warlike culture. She understood that she needed to go beyond appeals to reason and instead challenge the very core of their belief in conquest. As Park continued to extol the virtues of war, Jisoo interrupted him. She pointed out how his words echoed the same self-righteous justifications used by so many of Earth's own conquerors and tyrants. She drew parallels between the Council's thirst for glory through conquest and the destructive ambitions of figures like Napoleon, Hitler, and Stalin. "You speak of your superiority," Jisoo said, her voice filled with quiet intensity, "but in your desire for domination, you reveal your own weakness. True strength comes from wisdom, from understanding, from the ability to create rather than destroy. In seeking to conquer us, you betray the pettiness of your own ambitions." Park bristled at Jisoo's words, his face darkening with anger. He accused her of insolence, of daring to question the greatness of the Council. But Jisoo stood her ground, unflinching in the face of Park's wrath. She then revealed one final card in her hand, the fact that the alien fleet's approach had been detected by Earth's scientists, and that the news of the impending invasion was already spreading across the planet. She described how this knowledge was galvanizing humanity, uniting them in a way that no other event in their history had. "You think you will be conquering a divided, primitive species," Jisoo said, "but in truth, you will be facing a united Earth, a planet of billions ready to fight as one against the threat you pose. Even now, our people are preparing, rallying, ready to defend our home with every resource and every ounce of courage we possess." This revelation gave even the most hawkish council members pause. They had counted on taking Earth by surprise, on crushing any resistance quickly before the humans could organize. The prospect of facing a fully prepared and united human race suddenly made the invasion seem a much more daunting prospect. Jisoo pressed her advantage. She painted a vivid picture of what an invasion of Earth would actually entail. The bitter, bloody struggle that would ensue, the toll it would take on both sides, the scars it would leave on the galaxy itself. She forced the Council to confront the ugly reality behind their dreams of conquest. "If you come to Earth as conquerors," Jisoo said, her voice ringing with prophetic clarity, "you will be met with a resistance unlike any you have ever known. You may take our cities, but you will never hold them. You may kill our soldiers, but more will rise to take their place. You will bleed for every inch of our soil, and even if you claim victory in the end, it will be a victory of ash and Pyrrhic ruin." As Jisoo's words sank in, the mood in the control room began to shift. The once united council was fracturing, doubt and dissent creeping into their ranks. They had come seeking an easy triumph, but now they faced the prospect of a costly war of attrition with an enemy more formidable than they had ever imagined. The seeds of discord that Jisoo had planted were beginning to sprout, and the fate of Earth, once seemingly decided, was suddenly thrown back into uncertainty. As Jisoo's stirring words echoed through the alien control room, the once resolute Galactic Council began to splinter. Faced with the prospect of a long, devastating war against a united and determined humanity, many of the council members who had initially supported the invasion now wavered. A heated debate erupted among the council, with voices rising in anger and frustration. Some argued that Jisoo's warnings were nothing more than a bluff, that no primitive species could possibly resist the might of the Council. Others countered that even if victory was assured, the cost in lives and resources would be far too high. Amidst the chaos, a group of pragmatic council members rallied around a new leader, a wise and respected elder named Kim. Kim had listened carefully to Jisoo's presentation, and he understood the folly of underestimating the humans. In a calm but firm voice, Kim addressed his fellow council members. He reminded them of the council's true purpose, to foster peace and cooperation among the stars, not to wage wars of conquest. He argued that invading Earth would not only be morally wrong but strategically disastrous. "We have seen the tenacity and resilience of the humans," Kim said, gesturing to the images of war and destruction that Jisoo had shown them. "They are a species that has endured countless trials and always emerged stronger. To make an enemy of such a race would be to sow the seeds of our own downfall." Kim's words struck a chord with many of the council members. They began to see the wisdom in seeking peaceful contact with humanity rather than domination. Even some of Park's most ardent supporters began to question the path of war. Sensing the tide turning against him, Park lashed out. He accused Kim and his followers of cowardice, of betraying the Council's grand destiny. In a last, desperate attempt to rally support, Park called for an immediate vote on the invasion. But it was too late. The majority of the Council, swayed by Kim's words and Jisoo's dire warnings, voted against the invasion. They chose the path of peace, of diplomacy, of mutual understanding. As the reality of the vote sank in, Park slumped in his seat, his dreams of conquest shattered. Jisoo, exhausted but triumphant, felt a wave of relief wash over her. Against all odds, she had done it. She had stopped a galactic war with nothing more than the power of truth and the weight of history. In the days that followed, the Galactic Council underwent a dramatic transformation. Park and his remaining supporters were removed from power, replaced by a new leadership committed to peaceful exploration and cooperation. Kim, now the head of the council, reached out to Earth with an offer of friendship. He acknowledged the mistakes of the past and pledged to work with humanity as equals, to learn from each other and build a better future for all. As for Jisoo, she returned to Earth a hero. She had not only saved her planet, but had also taught the galaxy a valuable lesson. Through her courage and determination, she had shown that even the smallest voice could change the course of history, that the power of understanding could overcome the madness of war. In the end, the Galactic Council had come to Earth seeking conquest, but they left with something far more valuable: a new perspective, a new respect for the indomitable spirit of humanity. And as the alien fleet departed, the stars seemed to shine a little brighter, a testament to the enduring hope that even in the darkest of times, peace and wisdom could prevail. As Jisoo's stirring words echoed through the alien control room, the once resolute Galactic Council began to splinter. Faced with the prospect of a long, devastating war against a united and determined humanity, many of the council members who had initially supported the invasion now wavered. A heated debate erupted among the council, with voices rising in anger and frustration. Some argued that Jisoo's warnings were nothing more than a bluff, that no primitive species could possibly resist the might of the council. Others countered that even if victory was assured, the cost in lives and resources would be far too high. Amidst the chaos, a group of pragmatic council members rallied around a new leader, a wise and respected elder named Kim. Kim had listened carefully to Jisoo's presentation, and he understood the folly of underestimating the humans. In a calm but firm voice, Kim addressed his fellow council members. He reminded them of the council's true purpose: to foster peace and cooperation among the stars, not to wage wars of conquest. He argued that invading Earth would not only be morally wrong, but strategically disastrous. "We have seen the tenacity and resilience of the humans," Kim said, gesturing to the images of war and destruction that Jisoo had shown them. "They are a species that has endured countless trials and always emerged stronger. To make an enemy of such a race would be to sow the seeds of our own downfall." Kim's words struck a chord with many of the council members. They began to see the wisdom in seeking peaceful contact with humanity rather than domination. Even some of Park's most ardent supporters began to question the path of war. Sensing the tide turning against him, Park lashed out. He accused Kim and his followers of cowardice, of betraying the council's grand destiny. In a last, desperate attempt to rally support, Park called for an immediate vote on the invasion. But it was too late. The majority of the council, swayed by Kim's words and Jisoo's dire warnings, voted against the invasion. They chose the path of peace, of diplomacy, of mutual understanding. As the reality of the vote sank in, Park slumped in his seat, his dreams of conquest shattered. Jisoo, exhausted but triumphant, felt a wave of relief wash over her. Against all odds, she had done it. She had stopped a galactic war with nothing more than the power of truth and the weight of history. In the days that followed, the Galactic Council underwent a dramatic transformation. Park and his remaining supporters were removed from power, replaced by a new leadership committed to peaceful exploration and cooperation. Kim, now the head of the council, reached out to Earth with an offer of friendship. He acknowledged the mistakes of the past and pledged to work with humanity as equals, to learn from each other and build a better future for all. As for Jisoo, she returned to Earth a hero. She had not only saved her planet, but had also taught the galaxy a valuable lesson. Through her courage and determination, she had shown that even the smallest voice could change the course of history, that the power of understanding could overcome the madness of war. In the end, the Galactic Council had come to Earth seeking conquest, but they left with something far more valuable: a new perspective, a new respect for the indomitable spirit of humanity. And as the alien fleet departed, the stars seemed to shine a little brighter, a testament to the enduring hope that even in the darkest of times, peace and wisdom could prevail.